What's going on, everybody? Trevor James here, and guess what it is? It's the first day of bass lesson series. That's right, everybody. It's time to get started. Today we're going to be talking about grooving. The one of the sole purposes of us bass players is to groove, and I'm going to show you how to build grooves, how to stay in the pocket, and what's kind of necessary for a nice fat groove that everybody can lay back in. So we're going to get right down to business. How I always approach grooves is I take my time. I listen to the drummer first. I feel, even if the drummer hasn't started yet, I hear it in my head. You got to think about your inner clock. You got to count to yourself. You got to take a deep breath. You got to feel it. You got to imagine the drummer already in the pocket. So how I approach grooving is drum roll to put on a metronome and groove. So right now, I'm going to put on my metronome. It's called Metro Time. It's a free app for iPhone. They might have it for Android as well. Might be called something different. But I use this app a lot. One thing to be in a pocket and to have great time is using a metronome. I don't care if you've got an old school metronome with the TikTokers going back and forth or something, or an app. So this app has several different types of times.
2, 3,
you can time
4,
yourself with
1,
grooving,
2,
and
3,
also
4, 1,
it has
2,
this one
3,
counting.
4,
Some might think
1,
it's annoying.
2, 3,
I actually
4,
like it because
1, 2.
for one great reason is when I'm grooving and I hear this 1, 2, 3, 4, I can feel the rhythm of that. You can count it. You go 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. With the clicking, I can't really feel the pulse of it. I just hear tick, 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 tick. With this, I hear So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start a little groove. We're going to put it on a moderate speed. Let's just go 90. That seems kind of comfortable.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so
4,
how I approach
1,
grooving
2, 3,
is
4. 1,
you gotta feel
2,
the beat first.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You gotta feel
1,
it. Don't just jump
2,
right into
3,
it.
4.
Feel it for
1,
a little bit.
2, 3,
And
4.
then pick anywhere
1,
on there.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
Stay
2,
on that one note.
3,
Stay on
4.
there.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Right
3,
there.
4.
Stay, when you first start building a groove, keep it simple. If you want a fat pocket, you got to make space. Right? So when you're grooving, when you're building a groove, keep it as simple as you can, and then slowly build it up so you have somewhere to grow. So I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna show you how you build a nice fat groove, whether it's an old school groove or new school groove. We're gonna stick with old school because you can't go wrong with some old school funk, James Brown, Funk Brothers, James Jamerson grooves, right? So we're gonna keep it simple and we're gonna grow. So here we go.
1, 2, 3,
Feel it.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
See how I did there? I slowly kept building and building the groove until it was, somewhat of an old school bass line, a real pocket. Now here's the other thing. When I'm grooving, if you want everyone to groove and make it funky like that, that could have been kind of funky, right? That could have been kind of grooving. But I'm going to show you two different ways to make the groove really fat. The first way you saw was, I was filling it up with notes, with some walking, with some little cool licks, and still feeling the pulse and coming back in on the one. Now, I'm going to show you how to groove, and it's going to blow your mind because it's so simple. It's so simple. It's all about space. As a bass player, if you know how to find the right space to put notes and take notes out, everyone's going to go crazy because they're going to think you're doing something insane, but it's the simplest thing. We're just taking away notes. That's it. So we're going to do this again. I'm going to play the first way, I'm going to play very busy, over the top. And the second way, I'm going to play with a lot of space. So here we go. Feel the pulse. Feel it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Right? That was the busy way. I even kind of fell off the time a little bit because I was too busy thinking about licks and what can I play here and how much can I put into that one bar. So now, the second way, we're going to play with a ton of space. Nothing but space. And you're going to see how much funky, how much the groove is there. So here we go. I'm going to do my best attempt to make as much space as I can.
1, 2, 3,
Feel it.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
See how much space? And also, what that really does when you're playing on a gig, when you're grooving, everyone's grooving, and everyone's in the pocket, everyone's killing it, and you're just holding it down, you're holding the foundation down. What space does is it captures the attention of the audience. When you play a lot of fast notes, you capture their attention for a little bit because they're like, wow, look at that bass player playing, he's going, woo, he's killing. But eventually they'll kind of lose sight, they'll kind of wander off and start talking because they don't grasp after a while, all the notes, fast notes as you're playing, it starts all sounding the same. But when you're making space, everyone's like this. They're really listening because it's like they hear a moment of no notes, no music, and they're like, what's happening next? And they hear, there we go. All that kind of stuff. So the key to really grab the audience attention or have it for the whole entirety of your gig or whatever is to keep it simple and to just color it with a little bit think fast notes here and there. As one of my favorite bass players that I really look up to for not only his playing but his teaching. And one thing he said, it was on a bass. I think it was like Bass Bash or Bass Player 1992 or something like that. It was a DVD, and he was teaching and playing as well. And one thing that he said that always stuck in my mind is, grooving and playing is like, and chops is like having a cake. Having a beautiful cake, and it's frosted and it looks delicious, and you go to cut into it, and it's nothing but frosting. There's no cake. It's just all frosting. And now for a little bit, you might be able to take a couple bites, and be like, this is still really good. I like sweets. But then eventually you're going to be like, oh, I feel sick now. That's too much frosting. And so you got to think of grooving as like that. You don't want to you don't want to give everybody a cake full of frosting. You want some cake in there. You want to be able to build a foundation, so when people dive into what you're doing, they can still get the substance of the music and the concept of it, and they can still be entertained by the flashiness in what you do. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So today we're really building. This is the beginner stages of building a groove, building a solid groove, and really being that bass player that can groove without having to play all, We'll get to all of that fast stuff. That fast stuff is there, but we need to dig deep into being able to just that kind of stuff, because that will separate you from the rest. If you can groove, people are going to want to call you for everything, because they like how you feel, they like how you interpret the music, they like how they can sit back and really just play and not have to worry about chopping it up. Because a lot of stuff that, if those that have followed my videos and seen me play all those chopping stuff, that's cool, that's entertainment. But for the most part, what's really good is if you can just lay down a solid pocket. And that's exactly what I love to do, is just lay down a solid pocket. Some artists to look up that you can really dig deep into that kind of music is a lot of, 60s Motown music, or just 60s, funk music in general. James Jamerson, the Funk Brothers. You've got all of that Motown stuff really was a turning point for me, because you type in everything on YouTube and everyone's slapping and tapping and all this kind of stuff, and that's great, but to be able to just groove and to make iconic bass lines like such in the pocket and things like that. Even another grooving bass player he's been one of the biggest influences in my life is Nathan Watts. So all that kind of stuff. And we'll get to that a little bit advanced stuff. But to build a solid foundation is the groove. And how I approach grooving is you just really have to feel the pulse. There's really no easy way around it. You put on a metronome.
1, 2, 3, 4.
At a moderate,
2, 3,
moderate
4
tempo.
1, 2, 3.
And play with some James Brown.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And what will really make the crowd go crazy is you're grooving, one note grooving, and you play something with a lot of space. You can hold on to that walk up. But as long as you come back in on the one, that's when people go crazy. You know, some of the crazy stuff when I play and I'm playing live, I'm not doing anything crazy. It's just I might hold a note out a little bit longer before I come back in on the one, just like this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Just
3,
grooving.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Nothing special, nothing at all. It was just I made space and I still kept the pulse to come back in on the one. And that's it. There was no need for any crazy flashy stuff. It's the simple stuff. Second thing, how I feel the beat is bass is a very percussive instrument. You know, that's why we go hand in hand with the drummer. You know, that's our right hand man, or the drummer, we're their right hand man, because we are a percussive instrument. You know, and one way to really feel a groove, instead of singing the note, instead of going, all right, play that bass line for me. I'm not gonna go boom 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 boom. I'm not gonna do that, because this is a percussive instrument. If you take away the notes, this is what it sounds like. So when I sing the notes to somebody, I'm gonna go boom, so that's what you gotta feel. You gotta feel the percussiveness of the instrument. You gotta really, don't just approach it as notes, you know, be in space, because it's gonna sound very mechanical. If I just approached it as just notes, you know, you can't really you gotta really get. That's how you gotta approach it. Bass is a percussive instrument. You take away the sounds and everything, all this slap, that's a percussive instrument. You take the concept of congas, or you know, that's all percussive. Everything you do is percussive. It's not just notes. You know, you see everybody playing fast notes. Yeah, it's cool, but it's a percussive instrument. You know, and if you really want to create a sound of a pocket where people are like, ooh, what is that? It's just percussive. You take what the drummer's playing and you just add notes to it. That's what I'm doing. You know, if you're listening to the drummer, if there's a drummer playing with this beat, he would be. So you just take what he's playing and just add notes to it. And that's how I feel and build grooves. So I want you guys to go back, if any of this helped, review it, go look at some, listen to some 60s music. A lot of 60s funk, Motown music, you know, that will really build a great groove and a great concept of playing bass. This is some Marvin Gaye, you know, those James Jamerson grooves, you know, are some of that's kind of what made a platform for today's music. You know, he was way ahead of his time. You know, listen to some James Brown when Bootsy was playing with them. You know, all of those everyone had to start from the solid basic lines, and they're funky and they're grooving. Listen to those the Temptations, the Supremes, the Platters, all of that kind of music. Listen to it, because that will really develop a sound. That will really develop your skills, because everybody can, do all flashy stuff, but not a lot of people can really just sit back and keep doing that without going. All that kind of stuff, because you would get kicked off the gig if you were playing that with James Brown. So you put yourself in those shoes. If James would turn to you and give you the 5 because you just got deducted in your pay, then you're not really keeping it simple. It's all about keeping it simple. If you want a fat pocket, you got to make some room. All right, y'all. I hope that helped. Thank you for tuning in for the first bass lesson series of 2016. If you have any comments or even some questions that you would like me to put into the videos to answer, please feel free to do that. Comment below, or you can go to my music page, Trevor James music page, and you can message me there. Follow me as well on Instagram, and you can get a play-by-play of everything that I'm doing by the minute, by the second, because I'm always on there. And stay tuned. Put on your calendar, January 14th, I will be releasing my jazz fusion album titled The Dreamer. So keep a lookout for that. And I will be talking to you guys next week sometime. So go ahead, do some research, keep the groove, play with the metronome. That is key to grooving. Play with the metronome. And I hope that worked, and I'll check back with you guys later. Peace, y'all.